Our world, our world. This the game. So if you don't know about Power World, you need to learn, listen up. It's the best game out right now. Some would say. You gotta figure out what to do with that. I need to go to my website. Damn, man. That's what I need to do. That's why I need to drive early in the day. Yo, you got in the microwave, babe. Yeah. Hard too.
Hey. Huh.
When did it charge you today?
It's can't charge me, so I don't have enough
So tell them you did you call, you need to call them. Stop with all this text message stuff. All this chatting with some type of AI operator. You need to get on the line with somebody. That's what you need to do. Until you do that, you ain't doing nothing. That's because I missed my shot.
Huh.
Hello? Because I signed up for the Duolingo super free trial and I didn't cancel it on time, so it's trying to charge me for Duolingo Super, and I would like it to be removed and cancel it, but it won't let me because they're saying that the charge is still pending. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know I have my love show coming up. This is something that is very much, it's not in the air, but it's very much not established yet. So I'm trying to plan what day I want to do it. I'm thinking the end of July. This is mind you, this is a 6-figure project, so I want to go right, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to really enjoy it. I think it's gonna be really, 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 really good. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm kind of thinking like end of July, bleeding into August a little bit. But it's gonna be like Flavor of Love. Now I'm trying to plan it out and how I want to get the girls. I was talking to my manager, and then we was kind of debating on how what girls we wanted to be in the crib or whatever, or the facility or whatever you want to call. I'm about to turn this TTS off. I don't need $20. Why do I got this on here? Let me turn this shit off. That shit be throwing me off, and I be hearing that loud ass noise. Hold on. Take this shit off. I think we should have girls audition, right? Maybe I was thinking maybe I make a website, boom. Kind of how what Kai did with the Streamer University, where you can go to a website, you can submit, and obviously we on Twitch, so I don't want girls like fighting and I don't need all that drama and all that. I mean, I like drama. I want drama, but I don't want no hands being thrown or nothing like that because I cannot get banned. That's it. Do a Google Doc, NDAs. Everything's gonna be live, so I don't know what people will even need to sign an NDA for because everybody's gonna see what's going on. This is not no freaky ass show where I'm ducking off trying to with something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm on. I'm trying to give y'all entertainment. The furthest I might do, I will be honest, I would be lame if I ain't do nothing though. But the furthest I might do is like, you know what I'm saying, one of them, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, I ain't really trying to be on no crazy for real, you know what I mean? Like it's still a digital footprint. But like furthest, one of them, you know, might be the forehead. I don't know. Nothing too crazy though, but like I want to give y'all a real feel. Like my favorite show growing up was Flavor of Love. I watched every single season. I watched all the spinoffs. I watched I Love New York, for the love of the chants and reels. I watched every single spinoff of that. So I want to recreate that. You feel me? But I was thinking, I was talking to my manager, I was telling her, I'm like, I low-key want to do all regular girls though. Like I'm thinking like we was thinking like, oh, we mix it in with streamers and this and that, but I'm like, damn, I want like regular ass girls that genuinely got a crush on me. You feel me? Like, not no girls that's just trying to pull up just because they want to just stream and, you know what I'm saying, do a little streamer event. This ain't a streamer. This shit ain't about no streamers. I know Funny Mike did the streamer prom and he gave everybody and their mama a layup. Kai did the streamer university, gave everybody and their mama a layup. Put views on everybody's page. This shit's about me. So, I think I want to do regular ass females, like girls from all over the US, all over the world. And they just got a crush on me. You feel me? Y'all know I am one of the most handsome ever to touch earth. So this would be easy for me to get auditions and easy for me to get submissions from women. And I think this is something that we should do. And we go through the girls together and we see who we want to meet. I'll make sure I make the auditions very, very surface level. So I don't expose too much to myself. I don't want it to be a surprise who I'm meeting either. Okay? I want nothing. Nah, I ain't even gonna say that. I want all walks of life. All races, all walks of life, all shapes and sizes. Just girls that genuinely wanna, you know what I'm saying, get to know me. That's the point of a love show. You feel me? So, for the people that's just joining in, I know my hair look a little patchy. It's because I just got it cut from having a fro and I didn't brush it yet. But I have a brush on the way. You won't have to look at it too much longer. I will have waves by the end of this stream. Age limit. I'm thinking 23 lowest, 23 lowest, 25, 23 lowest, maximum number 50. See if I can get a 40-year-old in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it's gonna be a real good, entertaining show. Although I want it to be girls that really have a actual crush on me or whatever, but I also want it to be girls that they also entertaining. You feel me? I want people that's gonna be entertaining. I don't care if you the baddest, prettiest girl in the world. If you're not entertaining, that does nothing for the show. You feel me? At the end of the day, this is for entertainment. But I do want you to try to win. I do want you to want to be a part of this. Now, this is me this is my preliminary speech about my show, just to keep y'all in the loop and let y'all know that this is real and is actually happening. Okay? I know we do need drama. I do want to do auditions. So I will be letting y'all know about all of that. I'm gonna have one more meeting tomorrow before I press the green button and I put all this shit in motion. And then I plan it out. Now I don't know if it's gonna be either the end of July, beginning of August. Either way, it's gonna be something good. So if y'all got any like people that y'all think should automatically be in the running or in the thought process of this, that would be cool. But I'm on live, bro. Let me call you back. Either or. I see y'all typing girls. I don't think it should be any streamers. I don't think it should be any girls that y'all seen me collab with already. I think that ruins it. Because y'all already gonna have favorites. I want this to be a whole new group of females that y'all never met before. No favorites, no pre. I want the parasocialism to start at 0. I don't want you to come in with already having parasocialism and all this other shit going on. Okay? I want it to be all 9 to 5 workers. girls that gotta take off, they gotta call they boss in order to go on this show. You feel me? I want the girls to be all regular as hell, bartenders and shit. Like the streamers, the TikTokers, and all this other shit. It's cool, but it becomes clips. It becomes clip farming. It becomes not real. It doesn't become like, I want this. I want a girl to cry because she got eliminated. You feel me? Like, not on no mean, but like, damn, like I really want this. Like, I want her to cry. Like, I really wanted this, and I got eliminated. That's what the I'm on. Like, I ain't none of the people you seen on Flavor of Love, none of them girls you seen on Flavor of Love was movie stars, TV stars before they got on Flavor of Love. You feel me? Hopefully, what can happen from this is this be so colossal that one of the girls or a handful of the girls that come from the show that y'all fell in love with, y'all follow them on. You know, some Love Island shit, you feel me? It ain't Love Island, but like, you know how y'all watching Love Island and then y'all start with all the people on Love Island. Y'all never knew who they was before, but y'all love them so much on the show, y'all became fans and y'all want to know about their personal life, all that other shit. So this is definitely going to be a great opportunity. But it's something that I'm actively working on. It's going to be very big though. That's what I want y'all to know. This is not going to be like no, you know what I mean? It ain't going to be no makeshift. I'm talking about it's going to be the highest production possible. Like real deal production, real deal show. You getting eliminated, your screen, your face gonna pop up on the screen, like that, like real deal show, big ass production. And I'm aiming to do like at least one show a month. You feel me? Like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just keep up with what's going on. When I first got on Twitch, beefing get you by. Beefing to get you by. Now beefing don't really do nothing. Beefing is just a three-day segment, maybe 4. And then don't give a no more. We gotta spend money. So I'm gonna try to do a show a day. That's my gift to y'all. Cause as y'all do know, this is not 100% profit whatsoever. You know, if I break even, that's actually amazing. But yeah, I just want to give y'all the best entertainment possible. You feel me? I'm gonna do a trailer for sure, 100%. I'm gonna do me a nice little trailer, and all that cool. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be very exciting. But I don't want to keep talking about it. Next time I talk about this, I want to have something to show for it. I just want to show y'all my excitement and how, you know, how excited I am.
said they're getting rid of retarded?
Yeah, I don't over that. It's really bad.
That's what you're tripping about now.
It's cat, and it's just means where the Washington TV card and it's dead.
So a new material called coralum ore in Palworld Tides of Terraria is needed to indeed craft many of the new items that's come with this content update. The issue with this material is right now it doesn't seem to come through any form of ore rock. So how can you get your hands on it and get loads of it fast? Well, that's where I come in today, guys. I have you covered, do not worry. How's it going, guys? My name's DPJ, and if you do enjoy the video, leaving a like really helps out, and if you like what you see and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Okay, so the coralum ore is the main new material in regards to crafting the new Palworld Tides of Terraria items. But as I said, this doesn't come from you mining any kind of rocks, so you can't go flying around the map looking for any new ores that may be here, because there are absolutely none. Now where this does come from though, guys, is from certain pals as well as salvaging. So today, guys, I'll bring you the very best ways to get this material and get it fast. Okay, so firstly, salvaging. So salvaging or salvage is a new feature to Tides of Terraria, which sees you having to be a small minigame in order to loot ocean salvage. But there are a few requirements needed on your behalf in order to be able to do this. Firstly, you need to get yourself a fishing rod and the strong magnet. So go into your tech page. Here, guys, there are 3 fishing rods. The best one available in my opinion, or the best one available actually, is the level 45 one. So I suggest you getting this. Now there are ones you can get much earlier. But the strong magnet requires you to be at level 61, so if you want to salvage and do it right and efficient, you need to be a higher level anyway. You basically need to be at the end game. So yeah, you need that fishing rod, guys, and then you need to get this strong magnet again unlocked at level 61. So once you've purchased these items, you now need to craft them at the production assembly line. So go to where you have this in your base, guys, and get to work in crafting these. So once you are done here, guys, and you have the fishing rod and the strong magnet, make sure you equip the fishing rod. It needs to be in your hand basically for you to fish. Simple as that. From here, guys, you need to get yourself a watering pal or a water pal, one that you can ride, one that you can mount, because you need to be on a rideable water pal on the water. Can't use a flyer, you can't use any other pal as far as I'm aware. You may be able to use any other pal that can indeed swim, but as far as I'm aware and what I've checked so far, you need a rideable water pal. Now my favourite is the new legendary pal of Neptilius, who can be found right up here on the map. But any old watering pal you can mount, guys, you've got a saddle on, will be fine, I am sure. So once you have that rideable water pal, we can now get on to salvaging. So here, the watering pal you can mount, guys, you've got a saddle on, will be fine, I am sure. So once you have that rideable water pal, we can now get on to salvaging. So here guys, look around any parts of the sea. Now I've flown all around this map, and anywhere where there's sea, I found these salvage spots. I don't know if north will be better in regards to loot, in regards to the harder areas, but I don't think it makes much of a difference. So if you're swimming around or even flying around on your pal, once you see one of these salvage piles in the ocean, switch to your water rideable pal and get on it. From this point guys, you simply just go up to that said salvage pile and interact with it. You will then guys see this mini game pop up on your screen where you have to stop the spinny thing around in that little bar. It is quite easy once you get the hang of it. Now the best thing about this is if you complete this and get it right, it will remove one magnet from your inventory. Or if you fail the mini game, it doesn't take away your magnet, so that's pretty cool. And for doing this guys, you'll get that coralum ore. Then guys, just simply swim around the ocean, use up all those magnets you crafted and get as much of this coralum as possible. Okay, so moving on, and there are a couple of pals guys you can indeed farm who will also drop you these coralum ores. The pal is called the Whaleska, and whether you capture this or kill them, they drop this material for you. Now a great spawn for this is right here on the map where I say get that amazing new legendary water pal. If you come up to this island guys, just fly back and forth to it, resetting the pals, you'll see that these pals will indeed spawn in. And again, whether you decide to take them out or capture them, they will drop you this coralum ore. So pretty cool people. Now another pal which drops them and drops way more of them, but the problem is it's an alpha world boss, so there's a cooldown on doing this. But yeah, he's the alpha Whaleska Ignis boss, and he's located right here on the map. So if you come to the original point of the 3 oil nodes on the volcano and come this direction right here guys, slightly west, you'll see this small island where this boss can be indeed found or caught. Now in my opinion, the fastest way of getting this is to catch a mating pair of this alpha Whaleska Ignis, or even just a normal Whaleskas. Catch a mating pair of a mating pair. Getting this is to catch and be indeed point of the 3 oil nodes on the volcano. And come this direction right here, guys, slightly west, you will see this small island where this boss can be indeed found or caught. Now in my opinion, the fastest way of getting this is to catch a mating pair of this alpha Whaleska Ignis, or even just a normal Whaleskas. Catch a mating pair of them, or even a couple of them, guys, and take them to a breeding pen and just leave them to breed over and over and over. It's basically an AFK farm. All you need is it for cakes, and I'm pretty sure by now, guys, you've got tons and tons of cakes if you're at this stage of the game. Now the Whaleska Ignis or the standard versions will give you quite a few of these if you just leave them to breed away, and depending on the amount of breeding pairs you get, the more of these you will indeed end up with. Don't forget though, guys, what we're doing here is we're actually slaying the babies. So all those eggs that those mating pairs make, we're going to slay those babies, we're going to hatch them, then slay them with the PAL disassembly conveyor. It's easy materials, guys, and it's the best way, the quickest way in my opinion, to get this new material of coralum ore. Now there isn't many items in the game that require this, but the few that do require quite a large amount of them. And then you got to think about the ammo for the new weapons too, which will require more or less an infinite stack of these. So yes guys, if you want the quickest way of getting coralum ore, in my opinion, it's to capture the alpha Whalelasca ignis, a male and female of them, and just breed them away. But there we have it guys. If you did enjoy the video, leaving a like really helps me out. If you like what you see and want to see more Power World, be sure to subscribe, and hopefully guys, I will see you on that.
We now have a very interesting situation in Pal World because an endgame resource is realistically farmable through breeding because of Whalelasca and Whalelasca ignis. Coralum ore is the mega endgame grind because you need an insane amount of it, and there's no way of passively farming it. You can't just set up a mining station and get all the coralum, so people are looking into breeding since you can kind of get away with it. And that's why I'm saying that it's interesting, because that wasn't really possible for Hexalite, because if you want to get chromium, that's a huge dragon egg. So it takes a really long time to get 2 to 3 chromite, and it's semi-automatic, and there's also the expeditions, so you can get more chromite in a shorter amount of time through just sending pals on the expeditions, or, since you need to do a ton of Faybreak dungeons anyways, just bring a Smoky, and then make sure you get all the chromite in every dungeon, and you shouldn't have to worry. But here's where things get interesting with Whalelasca, because it's a large egg. So that makes it a little more viable, and then that's what I'm going to be checking out in this video, if it's worth farming. If you enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below, because breeding systems, share all the knowledge you've got with those, because it's a pretty crazy thing to see if this is worth it or not. I'm also going to be checking other methods, best coralum farming in Pal World. And the weird thing is, Whalelasca ignis is a huge frozen egg, so you can only do this with Whalelasca. So that's why my base is looking like this. Got a bee guard, that way we can replenish some honey. But I think the breeding base needs a lot of work, because we got a massive change with this update. You can get 8 eggs per breeding station, items from fishing. Breeding setup is good, but also you're going to be breeding for generic fish. And that's another thing, like, this isn't going to be flawless. You have Azure, other rewards, the loot table with fishing minigames that you have. What is it even better? 100 per up every salvage location. Can you get 100 per hour? Are you averaging 15 each, so you're getting like 1500 coralum that way? So it's like twice as much through active means than the breeding system. Now, personally, I think this is an excessive amount of work for just one resource, but then you think about the legendary charge rifle, and that's going to be over 1300 coralum ingots. So like 7,000 coralum ore just for the weapon, and it costs coralum ingots to fire the shots for all the weapons. So if you already have the psychotic breeding setup and nothing is breeding, yeah, throw in the Whalelasca. And that also kind of goes into like a whole breeding-based redesign and guide update, because the mechanics have changed, and now this. And then the large non-electric incubator kind of changes everything and makes it a lot more manageable. I think this is kind of a play. But if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching. Yummy. This is going to be your guide for everything you need to know in the Pal World Terraria update, because it's a lot more than just the Terraria dungeon and items. And now we have level 65, new items, new resources. This now controls your life. Coralum is going to be needed for the new weapons, and you need a lot of it. 155 ingots for the shotgun, 160 for the rifle, 200 for the charge rifle. That's a big yikes. and it's 5 coralum ore per ingot, and you need hexalite if you want to get it even faster. Also, you need hexalite to craft the weapons and everything. We are in the end game, especially because you also need it for the ammunition, which is why the weapon guide hasn't come out yet. The Terraria weapons are busted, and that's going to be later in this video, though. So, Coralum now rules your life, which means everything is going to be about getting it as quickly and efficiently as possible. You can get it through fishing. I have a fishing guide, and you're probably not going to like hearing this a lot throughout this video, but it's like, oh, if you want more details, go and check out my guide, because I do a full Terraria breakdown, and also I have a fishing breakdown which shows the loot tables, because there's some really good loot you can get. Actually, where is it? Just pulled a epic hexalite helmet from the salvage, the one that takes the magnets. So you want the fastest swimming pallet you have, that way you can just go from salvage to salvage in the end game areas, Astral Mountain, Sakurajima, and Faybreak, and then you just fish at like the advanced ones, and then you salvage, and you get tons of Coralum. The big tech, Gelroy, in your inventory gives you more items from salvage, and they stack. That's why you watch all the video. Also, if it helps in any way, don't forget to leave a like, share it with friends, and comment your thoughts, tips, tricks, all that fun Pal World stuff down below. So yeah, Coralum, big, but also it's kind of worth farming because you get giant Pal Souls and other really good items, but that only unlocks at level 61, and then this is going to be a big part of your end game loop, which also means, oh, you need to get Hexalite. So even though it was last update, you're still going to be farming the Chromite, and my recommendation is to have the expeditions going at all times. I also think raids are overrated, so you don't really need a raid base, you just need to have 4 expeditions going at all times across all of your bases, so you can get as much chromite and oil from them as possible, and the other materials are also going to be pretty good and useful. And then on the fishing side, you want Jelliet because it increases the yield from fishing instead of salvage. Gloopy makes fishing easier, and then if you have a saddle for Whaleaska, that's also something you can use. Fishing, really, really good as well, especially in dungeons. Like, just always have a fishing rod and some bait on you, and if you're clearing out dungeons for schematics or you're trying to farm some rare items, fishing in a dungeon effectively has the same loot table as the chest at the end of the dungeon. It just has much reduced rates, but you can still get some, like, crazy items. So, yeah, fishing is worth it for some of the higher loot areas, and I cover that in my fishing guide. So let's talk about the Terraria content real quick. You go to Fisherman's Point, you surf a little bit southeast, and then there's the Sealed Realm of Terraria. And what I really like about it is that this is its own isolated gameplay loop, and if you invest into it, you can actually get a lot out of it that helps in the main game, but also participating in this dungeon helps you get through the dungeon faster. The Hallowed Armor makes you take less damage from the enemies that are related to Terraria. Also, the weapons are surprisingly really, really good, and you can keep farming in here for some of the helmets, and the helmets are going to augment the damage of the weapons by 20%. So it's not super in-game stuff, but it might be worth being squishier wearing the helmet, and then you get a crazy damage boost. Now, the order for clearing the Terraria dungeon is that once you go through the first room, you want to make a left, and then you go right, and then you go left, and then you go right, and then you go right, and that's going to be how you can make it to the end of the dungeon. But you also want to stop by the life crystals because they're free life elixirs, and they reset every time the dungeon resets. So if you want to max out your hit points really quickly, so once you hit around level 40-ish, so you can easily take out the Eye of Cthulhu left for in-game stuff, but it might be worth being squishier wearing the helmet, and then you get a crazy damage boost. Now, the order for clearing the Terraria dungeon is that once you go through the first room, you want to make a left, and then you go helmets, and the helmets are going to augment the damage of the weapons by 20%. So it's not super in-game stuff, but it might be worth being squishier wearing the helmet, and then you get a crazy damage boost. Now, the order for clearing the Terraria dungeon is that once you go through the first room, you want to make a left, and then you go right, and then you go left, and then you go right, and then you go right, and that's going to be how you can make it to the end of the dungeon. But you also want to stop by the life crystals because they're free life elixirs, and they reset every time the dungeon resets. So if you want to max out your hit points really quickly, so once you hit around level 40-ish, so you can easily take out the Eye of Cthulhu, then you can just, like, max out your health, not worry about the elixirs, and you're good to go. So, like I said, you want to go left, and then for this room, we're going to be going right. That's going to take you through this cave, and then you can go straight from this mushroom area to find the life crystal, and then you progress down, and then you just clear to the end of the boss. Now, once you make it to this part, this is going to be one of the rights that takes you to the end of the dungeon, but this left takes you to a chest and the life crystal. So you just need to remember left, right, right. So this is going to be that second right, and then the third right is coming up because we go to the end of this tunnel, and then the final right is coming up. So you want to go to that wall over there. There's a chest down to this left, but that doesn't take you to the end. Alright, now let's show off how crazy these weapons are, because the Terra Prisma is insane. That it makes these swords, and you can have 9 of them, and then they just constantly attack the enemy. So when it stops producing swords, there you go. And you can swap weapons, and they're just going to constantly do damage for you for forever. So then we have the Terra Blade, which is very fast and launches ranged attacks. So it's like having a ranged weapon that doesn't consume ammo, just durability. And since it's a melee weapon, if you can get up on the enemy and attack them, you can do melee damage with it as well. And then you can really get tons of damage that way. So yeah, you can get the weapons and then do really well against the bosses and stuff in this game. And the damage is only going to get augmented as you get the helmets. And then farming for the Eye of Cthulhu mask actually gives you a really good legendary helmet. 350 defense, 800 defense, compared to Palmetto Legendary 245-60. So depending on when you take out the Eye of Cthulhu helmets. And then farming for the Eye of Cthulhu mask actually gives you a really good legendary helmet. 350 defense, 800 defense, compared to Palmetto Legendary 245-60. So depending on when you take out the Eye of Cthulhu, and if you get the legendary drop, which is a 10% chance, but you're going to be doing a lot of farming for the life crystals and the loot, you just jump to Hexalite without having to craft the Hexalite. And here's the loot table for the regular chests in the dungeon, so this is how you can farm for the armor schematics, and then if you want the weapon schematics, that's going to be from defeating the boss and then getting the treasure chest at the end, which also has attack pendant +2 and other dungeon loot. There's also a legendary Meow Mirror that you get from defeating the Moonlord raid. So the Moonlord raid is level 50, and it's not like one of the ultra crazy raids, so if you're in the super end game, it's fairly easy. And then you get the Celestial Sigil schematic from the dungeon. So you just craft this, turn it into the sigil, use that, and then that's how you can fight the Moonlord, and then you can get some loot that way. Legendary Meow Mirror is pretty good. Photosensitivity warning because it is very bright, and if you're trying to like melee attack things, yeah, pretty flashy. But what this is good about is that it bounces around, it does like multi-hits, and then like boss enemies with big hitboxes take a lot of damage. However, you don't really need anything except for the Terra Prisma, and the insane that it makes these swords, and you can have 9 of them, and then they just constantly attack the enemy. So when it stops producing swords, there you go. And you can swap weapons, and they're just going to constantly do damage for you for insane. Show off how left takes you to a chest and the life crystal. So you just need to remember left, right, right. So this is going to be that second right. And then the third right is coming up because we go to the end of this tunnel, and then the final right is coming up. So you want to go to that wall over there. There's a chest down to this left, but that doesn't take you to the end. Alright, now let's show off how crazy these weapons are, because the Terra Prisma is insane. That it makes these swords, and you can have 9 of them, and then they just constantly attack the enemy. So when it stops producing swords, there you go. And you can swap weapons, and they're just going to constantly do damage for you for forever. So then we have the Terra Blade, which is very fast and launches ranged attacks. So it's like having a ranged weapon that doesn't consume ammo, just durability. And since it's a melee weapon, if you can get up on the enemy and attack them, you can do melee damage with it as well. And then you can really get tons of damage that way. So yeah, you can get the weapons and then do really well against the bosses and stuff in this game, and the damage is only going to get augmented as you get the helmets. And then farming for the Eye of Cthulhu mask actually gives you a really good legendary helmet. 350 defense, 800 defense, compared to Palmetto Legendary 245-60. So depending on when you take out the Eye of Cthulhu, and if you get the legendary drop, which is a 10% chance, but you're going to be doing a lot of farming for the life crystals and the loot, you just jump to Hexalite without having to craft the hexalite. And here's the loot table for the regular chests in the dungeon, so this is how you can farm for the armor schematics, and then if you want the weapon schematics, that's going to be from defeating the boss and then getting the treasure chest at the end, which also has attack pendant +2 and other dungeon loot. There's also a legendary Meow Mirror that you get from defeating the Moonlord raid. So the Moonlord raid is level 50, and it's not like one of the ultra crazy raids, so if you're in the super end game, it's fairly easy. And then you get the Celestial Sigil schematic from the dungeon. So you just craft this, turn it into the sigil, use that, and then that's how you can fight the Moonlord, and then you can get some loot that way. Legendary Meow Mirror is pretty good. Photosensitivity warning because it is very bright, and if you're trying to like melee attack things, yeah, pretty flashy. But what this is good about is that it bounces around, it does like multi-hits, and then like boss enemies with big hitboxes take a lot of damage. However, you don't really need anything except for the Terra Prisma and the Vortex Blaster. So Vortex Blaster does really, really well because watch how slow the ammo drains despite the amount of hits that we're putting out. So it's just a crazy assault rifle that does the same amount of damage as a Gatling gun. So it fires slower, but Gatling gun ammo goes so quick. And as we can see, it's 375 damage on the Gatling gun. This is a rare, so it's 20% higher to 360, but even 20% less damage for this is still crazy. And then you can put on the helmet and get even more damage out of it. Also, there's no reloading. This is an absolutely shattered weapon, so you definitely want to farm for epic at least, and you can use the drafting table on it, which is really nice. So yeah, just stay in the Terraria dungeon forever until like you max this out, and then you can win the game. Also, hopefully by then you end up with a better Terra Prisma. It doesn't work against a target dummy, but you can just kind of see like, yeah, you have these swords, and then they just attack everything. Does chew through the durability really fast, but who cares? And this only uses rifle ammo, so it's super cheap, no reloading. If you get a legendary one, it might actually be the best item in the game because then you don't have to worry about expensive crafting, or until you just have like thousands of plasteel you don't know what to do with, and you just end up with like too much hexalite somehow. Yeah, so and then for the weapon guide, I'll figure out if this is worth it, but it can't be worth it, right? 5 rifle ammo for 1 hexalite, 1 coralum? Jeez. And if you want to make the swords go away, you just unequip and then equip it back. But if you take this off during combat, it will despawn the swords. So you just like keep this here, and then the swords are always attacking, and it's a really cool summon. We have fishing platforms now. These are really nice because you can get all kinds of different pals from them. So you can use that to farm pals, also good for farming passives, maybe also getting like breeding stats and stuff, so you can get some good breeding combinations. And then the loot is going to be based off of the fishing spots. So large fishing can get you gold keys. It can also get you the end game schematics. I got a Depresso fishing rod just from here. You can get large pal souls, giant pal souls, and all kinds of good stuff, and mostly like passive coralum, even though it's not a lot. Every little bit helps, so you want to get fishing set up as soon as you can. Even the small fishing pond is nice to have. Zoe and Grisbolt are officially obtainable inside the game now. It functions just like a Grisbolt, so it's kind of like a cosmetic thing to have the Zoe. You use Grisbolt to condense into it, and you can start the quest in the church next to the tower after you beat her. So you beat her, you go to the desolate church, and then you just talk to her. Make sure your pals are passive because you have to show her a Grisbolt, but the Grisbolt will start attacking her, so don't do that. And then go through her quest line, and there we go. There's also missions in the game, so you can keep track of those through the mission tabs. You talk to NPCs around the island, you talk to them in the little towns and stuff, keep up with the sub missions and get the rewards. I don't know like how crazy some of the rewards are, but now there's missions that can be really nice.